we're going to learn how to write 4 lowercase letters from the alphabet. Those letters are the letters L, K, H, and B. Let's go ahead and get our paper ready. Go ahead and draw your brackets with your top line, your middle line, and your bottom line. The first letter we're going to learn how to write is the lowercase letter L, like in leaf. Everyone say leaf. L makes the L sound. Try to take your tongue and push it to the top of your teeth when you make the sound. L. Now, let's write the letter L. We're going to touch the top, and we're going to imagine that imaginary rectangle. So we're going to move over 1, okay? And now we're going to move down from the top to the bottom line. And that is the lowercase L. Let's try to write the lowercase L and make it sound. Here we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nice job. Now let's move on to the lowercase letter K. For the lowercase letter K, it's going to have the same beginning shape as the lowercase L. But instead of moving over 1 into the middle of that imaginary rectangle, we're going to stay on the left side of that imaginary rectangle, okay? Here we go. We're going to touch the top, and we're going to go from the top straight down to the bottom. Now, for the next top part, we're going to find the middle line, and we're going to move over 1. And we're going to put our pencil here. And then we're going to make a diagonal line halfway to this line here. So it's going to look like this. Just like that. There we go. So again, it's middle line, back to our straight line, and it's diagonal. Now, we're going to retouch that diagonal right here, that point, and we're going to make a diagonal right down to the bottom, like that. And that is the lowercase k. When you think of the sound for the lowercase k, I want you to think of a kite. It makes the k sound. K, k, k. That's the same sound that the lowercase c also makes. So they share that sound in common. Let's write the lowercase k. Get ready and get your mouth ready. Here we go. K, k, k. Try it again. One more time. K, k, k. Nice job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Let's move on to our next letter. Go ahead and put an X here in this little spot. And let's make a new bracket. We have our top line, our middle line, and our bottom line. The next letter we're going to learn how to write is the lowercase letter H. For the lowercase letter H, again, I want you to imagine that imaginary rectangle, and we're going to stick to this left-hand side of the rectangle, okay? We're going to touch the top, just like we did for the lowercase L, and we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. See how it looks just like the lowercase letter L? Now watch what we do that's a little bit different. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to find this kind of this middle part right here, in between the bottom line and the midline, and we're going to curve up to the middle line and then back down to the bottom line. You can do it in 2 steps when you first learn, but here's the goal. The goal is for you to be able to form a straight line down and then retrace back on that line that you just created to curve around and make that hump as you touch the bottom line. So this is the goal that we're looking for when we create that letter H. All right, when you think of the letter H, I want you to think about a horse, okay? And H makes the sound. Put your hand out. Put it in front of your mouth and make the sound for H. What do you notice? Do you feel a breath on your hand? So do I. Let's make the letter H sound while we write the letter H. Here we go. Ready? One more time. Nice job. This is the lowercase letter H. The next letter that we're going to learn to write is the lowercase letter B. For the lowercase letter B, we are going to touch the top line and we're going to go straight down to the bottom, just like we did for the lowercase L, the lowercase K, and the lowercase h. So you'll notice all of these start in the same way. So we're going to go down and then we're going to retrace and create a circle around and back up. So with our circle, we touch that middle line, we curve around, we touch that bottom line, and then we come back to the line we first created. And this is the lowercase b. If it's easier for you when you're starting to draw the line first and then the circle, you can do that. But sometimes we forget to connect the circle and the line together. So that's why it's better to draw that line down and retrace over that line and curve around. That's our lowercase b. So when you think of the lowercase b, I want you to think about the word book. And B makes the B sound. It is a quick sound. Listen to it. Let's write the letter B as we make the sound. Here we go. B. 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 And when I think of the letter B, sometimes, my friends, to help me remember which way the circle needs to go, I kind of imagine this funny little face and this body, like this is a man's big old belly sticking out, okay? Belly. That helps me remember which way the circle needs to go on the lowercase b. All right, you can pause the video here and you can practice these letters again before we move on to writing words. Okay, my friends, now it's time to write some words using the new letters that we just learned. L, K, H, and B. Now I'm going to tell you, we're going to write 3 words that are real words, and then we're going to write 1 word that is a nonsense word, okay? So let's start with our first real word, and our first real word is the word lad. Everybody say that with me. Lad. Now, a lad is another name for a boy, okay? So let's get our paper ready. Let's go ahead and let's make our brackets. All right, so we have our top line, our middle line, and our bottom line. Let's get ready to pound and tap. Remember, if you're right-handed, you're gonna pound and tap with your left hand. And if you're left-handed, you're gonna hold your pen in your left hand, and then you're gonna pound and tap with your right hand. Okay, lad, here we go. Ready? Lad. Ooh, ah, d. Ooh, let's think about the sound that we heard first. I heard ooh, like in leaf. So that's gonna be that lowercase L. Ooh, ah. Ooh, that was one of our letters that we learned in our last video. Ah, like in apple, is the letter A. And remember, that is a circle that comes up and then that stick that comes down. So we have ooh, ah, d, lad. That last letter, d, 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 that is the letter D, like in dog. Remember, to make that letter, you're going to have a circle first and then that stick that's going to go all the way up to the top and back down to the bottom. Lad. Okay? I know a lad named Scott. Do you know a lad? Maybe you can use the word lad in a sentence. That's your challenge. Okay, let's try the next word. The next word is going to be the word bed. Everybody say it with me. Bed. Let's get ready to pound and tap. Here we go. Bed. B-e-d. Ooh, what sound did we hear first in bed? Oh, that's right, the letter B. And remember, with the letter B, we're going to start with the stick first. So we're going to start at the top, come down. We're going to make that circle around. B. Ooh, what is the second sound we hear? B. Oh, that's one of our letters that we learned in our last video, right? Like an egg. And then the last one, B-e-d. the last sound we hear is the D sound again, just like in lad. So it's that circle and then that stick. Okay, so we have bed. And sometimes, my friends, when I forget which letter represents the B and which represents the D, I will write the word bed at the top of my paper to help me remember that the B comes first. And to get to D, you have to go through like the letter C in the alphabet. So if you think about A, B, C, D, to get to D, you have to go through C. So B always comes first. So sometimes that helps me, and sometimes I can write the word bed, and it helps me remember because I can focus on the sounds, b, 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 like in bed, or d, 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 like we hear at the end of bed. So that can help me to determine if I need to use the B or the D, and it also helps me to make sure I form that letter correctly. That is a tricky one, my friends. All right, let's try our last real word, and that word is had. Had, okay? So let's get ready to pound and tap. Ready? Had. Ad. What did we hear at the beginning? I know, I heard it too. Like in a horse. That is going to be the lowercase h. Okay, so let's pound it again. Ah. Ah. Ooh. Like in lad. I hear that lowercase a. Ah. D. The last sound, what do we hear? That's right, D, like in dog. It's going to be that circle and then that stick. Had. I wish I had a gigantic ice cream sundae to eat right now. Don't you? That just sounds delicious. All right, so we have 3 real words. Lad, bed, and had. You can practice reading those. Now we're going to try a nonsense word. And a nonsense word is a word that's just made up. It's nonsense. So we're going to put an X and we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw our brackets. And the reason why we're going to write some nonsense words is to make sure we really are hearing the sounds that we're learning and we're connecting them to the new letters that we're learning. So our nonsense word is the word keb. Say that with me. Keb. And if you remember, we learned the letters L, K, H, and B in this lesson. So it's going to use some of those letters. So let's get ready to pound it out. Ready? Keb. K, E, B. Ooh. I remember that we learned about the letter K, right? Like in kite. And when I say keb, I hear K at the beginning. So keb is going to begin with that lowercase k. Go ahead and write your lowercase k. Let's say keb again. Keb. K, E. Ooh. That's like in bed. That's going to be that lowercase e. Here we go. Let's pound it one more time. Let's listen for that very last sound we hear. Keb. K, E, B. Ooh. I hear the B like in bed. Keb. This is a nonsense word, my friends. All right, there are a lot of words that rhyme with lad and bed and had and maybe even keb. I want you to see what other words you can write that maybe we didn't try today that might rhyme with some of these other words. See you soon, Red Runners.